The EV hype is over. Buyers beware of plummeting value and hidden flaws. Are you considering jumping on the EV bandwagon? Well, before you get swept up in the hype, let's take a look at the real issues that EV owners face. From reliability concerns to skyrocketing costs and a still developing charging network, there are plenty of reasons to think twice before making the switch. Reliability. One major reason is reliability. You'd think with fewer moving parts, EVs would be a breeze when it comes to maintenance, right? Well, turns out EVs have their own set of headaches that can make traditional internal combustion engine cars look like a safer bet. First off, let's dive into the drive units. These are crucial components, and you'd expect them to be rock solid in these high-tech vehicles. Unfortunately, many EV owners have reported significant problems with their drive units, from weird noises to complete failures. Imagine investing in a car that's supposed to be the future of transportation, only to have its main component give up on you. Not cool. Then there's the battery, the heart of an EV. It's supposed to last long and provide ample range, but reality often paints a different picture. Batteries degrade over time, and not always in a predictable manner. Some EV owners have seen their range drop significantly in just a few years, which is a huge letdown considering the hefty price tag. And replacing these batteries, it's not cheap. Plus, who wants to deal with the anxiety of wondering if their car will make it to the next charging station? I'll answer that for you. No one. Speaking of anxiety, let's talk about software issues. Modern EVs are packed with advanced software, which is great until it's not. Software glitches can range from annoying to downright dangerous. From screens freezing up and rendering controls useless to entire systems crashing mid-drive. These aren't just minor inconveniences. They're major red flags that can make you question the dependability of your vehicle. And we haven't even touched on build quality. Despite these sleek, futuristic designs, many EVs suffer from shoddy construction. Poor panel alignment, subpar materials, and other quality control issues are not uncommon. You'd expect a premium product for the premium price you pay, but often that's not what you get. All of these factors combine to make the so-called reliability of EVs a bit of a myth. Sure, they don't need oil changes, but they bring a host of other problems that can be just as frustrating, if not more so. So if you're thinking about jumping on the EV bandwagon, it might be worth taking a step back and considering whether you're ready to deal with these hidden flaws. The shiny promise of a hassle-free, cutting-edge ride may just be that. A promise, and not the reality. Low value. Another big reason why the EV hype is running out of juice is the alarming rate at which these cars lose their value. So we all know that new cars depreciate the moment you drive them off the lot, but EVs take this to a whole new level. If you're thinking about buying an electric vehicle, you might want to consider how quickly it could become a bad investment. One of the main culprits behind this rapid depreciation is the breakneck pace of technological advancements. EV tech is evolving so fast that last year's model can quickly become outdated. Newer models come out with better range, faster charging, and more advanced features, making older EVs seem like relics. This leaves current owners in a tough spot, stuck with a car that's losing value faster than a regular internal combustion engine or ICE vehicle. And then there's the big elephant in the room: battery life. The battery is the most expensive part of an EV, and its longevity is a major concern. Over time, batteries degrade and lose their capacity to hold a charge, and this isn't just an inconvenience, it's a significant financial hit. Potential buyers of used EVs are wary of this, which drives down the resale value even further. No one wants to be left holding the bag with an EV that can barely make it to the grocery store on a single charge. Imagine if your gas tank on your car shrunk by a gallon every couple of months. Let's take the Mercedes-Benz EQS as an example. This high-end electric sedan was supposed to be a game changer, but it's already showing significant drops in value. Despite its luxury badge and cutting-edge features, the EQS hasn't held up well in the resale market. The same goes for the Nissan Leaf, one of the most popular and long-standing EV models. Early adopters who thought they were making a smart investment are now seeing their Leafs lose value at an alarming rate. In contrast, ICE cars don't face the same steep depreciation curve. Sure, they do lose value over time, but they do so at a more predictable and manageable rate. There's a certain stability in knowing that your car won't become obsolete within a couple of years. Plus, the resale market for ICE cars is still robust, with plenty of buyers who aren't ready to make the jump to electric just yet. So if you're considering an EV, it's crucial to think about the long-term financial implications. The initial excitement of driving a high-tech, environmentally friendly car can quickly fade when you realize how much money you're losing in depreciation. With EVs, it's not just about the sticker price. It's about how much of that value you can recoup when it's time to move on. And right now, that picture isn't looking very rosy. True cost of buying EVs. Let's dive into another reason why the EV craze might be losing steam. The true cost of owning one. Sure, charging an EV at home can be cheaper than filling up a gas tank, but there are a lot of other expenses that often get overlooked. When you add everything up, owning an EV might not be the budget-friendly choice it's often made out to be. First off, let's talk tires. EVs tend to chew through tires way faster than their internal combustion engine counterparts. This is mainly due to their heavier weight and the instant torque from the electric motors. More weight and more torque means more stress on the tires, which translates to more frequent replacements. High-quality tires are not cheap, and replacing them more often can add up. Then there is insurance. Many people are surprised to find that insuring an EV can be more expensive than insuring a traditional car. Why? Well, a lot of times it comes down to the high cost of repairs. EVs are packed with advanced technology, and if something goes wrong, it often requires specialized skills and parts to fix. Repairing an EV can be a costly affair, and insurance companies know this, so they charge higher premiums to cover the potential expenses. Speaking of repairs, that's a whole nother area where EVs can hit your wallet hard. Even though they have fewer moving parts, when something does break, it's usually not a simple fix. For example, an issue with the battery or the complex electronics can be extremely expensive to address, and since EV technology is still relatively new, finding qualified mechanics isn't always easy, which can drive up the costs even more. And let's not forget the upfront cost of an EV is usually higher than that of a comparable ICE vehicle. Even with government incentives, you're still often looking at a bigger initial investment. If the goal is to save money in the long run, the math doesn't always work out in favor of EVs. So while the idea of going electric sounds great in theory, it's important to take a closer look at all the associated costs. When you factor in everything from tire replacements to insurance and repairs, the financial benefits of owning an EV aren't as clear-cut as they might seem. For many people, sticking with a reliable, more affordable ICE vehicle might be the smarter choice. Underdeveloped charging infrastructure. So one of the biggest roadblocks for electric vehicles that often gets swept under the rug is the underdeveloped charging infrastructure. While EV enthusiasts love to tout the convenience and eco-friendliness of these cars, the reality is that charging them can be a major hassle, especially if you're not living in an EV hotspot like California. Let's break it down. First, the charging network itself is far from being as widespread or reliable as gas stations. Outside states like California, where there's been a significant investment in charging infrastructure, finding a charging station can feel like a treasure hunt. If you live in a more rural area or even just outside a major city, well, good luck. The sparse distribution of charging stations can turn a simple road trip into a nerve-wracking experience, constantly worrying about whether you'll find a place to plug in before running out of juice. Even in places where there are plenty of chargers, reliability is a massive issue. It's not uncommon to pull up to a station only to find that the charger's out of order. Payment system failures and broken connectors are also frequent problems. Imagine planning your day around getting a charge, only to have your plans derailed by malfunctioning equipment. It's frustrating, inconvenient, and the worst of it, it can leave you stranded. The situation isn't much better at the charging stations that do work. Charging an EV isn't as quick as filling up a gas tank. Even with fast chargers, you're looking at a significant wait time compared to the few minutes it takes to pump gas. If you're using a standard charger, it could take hours. This means that charging your car can require careful planning, and spur-of-the-moment trips can become a logistical nightmare. Moreover, the variety of charging networks and their associated apps and payment systems could add another layer of complexity. Each network might have its own app, payment method, and quirks, leading to a fragmented and often confusing experience. Unlike gas stations, which accept multiple forms of payment universally and are straightforward to use, EV chargers can sometimes feel like you're navigating a maze of technology just to get some power. For those who don't have the luxury of installing a home charger, the dependency on public charging infrastructure is even more pronounced. Apartment dwellers and those without dedicated parking spots face additional challenges, often having to rely solely on public chargers, which can be even more inconvenient and stressful. All of these factors combine to make the current state of EV charging infrastructure a significant deterrent. While the vision of a clean, green future with ubiquitous EVs is appealing, the reality on the ground is far from that ideal. Until the charging network is as reliable, convenient, and widespread as gas stations, the dream of seamless EV ownership remains just that. A dream. For now, buyers should be wary of real-world challenges and consider whether the convenience and dependability of traditional ICE vehicles might still be the better choice. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel so that you can see more videos just like this.